From the clash of ancient shields to the roar of modern artillery, humanity's story is etched in conflict. Every battle, every skirmish, every strategic masterstroke has carved its mark upon the world we know today. We will journey across continents and centuries, from the deserts of Kadesh, where chariots once thundered, to the muddy fields of Europe, where empires were won and lost. We'll explore the pivotal moments that shaped nations, the brilliant tactics that turned the tide, and the incredible sacrifices made on the front lines. This isn't just about dates and names, it's about the pulse of combat, the weight of command, and the human stories behind the greatest struggles in history. Welcome to Battles Through History. Subscribe now and prepare to witness the past come alive like never before. Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're journeying 3,000 years into the past, to a time of colossal empires, god-kings, and the largest chariot battle in recorded history. This is the story of the Battle of Kadesh. Our story begins in 1274 BCE. The world is dominated by two superpowers. In the south, the Egyptian New Kingdom, ruled by the young and ambitious Pharaoh Ramesses II. To the north, the mighty Hittite Empire, led by King Muwatalli II. Between them lies the prize, the fertile lands of Syria and its vital trade routes. At the heart of this conflict is the heavily fortified city of Kadesh, a strategic jewel controlling the entire region. Whoever holds Kadesh holds the key to the Near East. Ramesses, determined to reclaim the glory of his ancestors and push Egypt's borders further than ever before, gathers a massive army. We're talking 20,000 men, organized into 4 divisions named after the great gods, Amun, Ra, Ta, and Setek. Confident, and perhaps a little impatient, Ramesses pushes forward, leading the vanguard, the Amun division, and his personal bodyguard, well ahead of the rest of his army. He wants a swift, decisive victory. Ramesses has no idea what's waiting for him. Unbeknownst to the pharaoh, King Muwatalli has assembled a coalition force of staggering proportions, over 27,000 soldiers and a terrifying 3,500 heavy 3-man chariots. This is the largest chariot army the world has ever seen, and it's hidden, waiting. Muwatalli, a brilliant strategist, sets a trap. Muwatalli sends 2 spies into the Egyptian camp. Under interrogation, they spin a tale. The main Hittite army is miles away, far to the north, too afraid to face the might of the pharaoh. Ramesses buys it completely. Believing Kadesh is lightly defended, Ramesses races ahead with only the Amun division, setting up camp just outside the city walls. The other 3 divisions are dangerously scattered for miles behind him along the line of march. The trap is set. The bait is taken. Just as Ramesses begins to establish his camp, his scouts capture 2 more men, actual Hittite scouts. Under pressure, they confess the horrifying truth. Muwatalli's entire army, all 3,500 chariots, is not miles away. They are hidden just on the other side of Kadesh, poised to strike. Panic erupts in the pharaoh's command tent, but for Ramesses and his forces it is too late. As alarms are sounded, the ground itself begins to tremble. The colossal Hittite chariot force thunders across the Orontes River, not to attack the camp, but to hit the Egyptian army at its weakest point. They smash directly into the flank of the Ra division, which is still marching leisurely toward the camp, completely unaware of the impending doom. The impact is catastrophic. The Egyptian Ra division, caught completely by surprise, disintegrates. It's not a battle, it's an annihilation. Soldiers are cut down, and the survivors flee in sheer terror, running directly for the only safe haven they can see, Ramesses' camp. This wave of panicked men and routing chariots crashes into the Amun division's encampment, sowing chaos and confusion. The Hittite chariots are right behind them, pouring into the camp, transforming it from a military base into a slaughterhouse. The situation is desperate. Ramesses and his elite personal guard are suddenly surrounded, fighting for their very lives amidst the carnage and looting. According to the pharaoh's own accounts, inscribed for eternity on temple walls, this is the moment he becomes a living god. Invoking the name of Amun, he single-handedly rallies his men. He mounts his chariot and charges headlong into the enemy lines. Here, the difference in technology becomes critical. The Hittite chariots are heavy, built for shock and awe, tanks of the ancient world. But the Egyptian chariots are lighter, faster, and more maneuverable. In the close-quarters chaos of the camp, Ramesses' lighter chariots can outmaneuver the cumbersome Hittite war machines, striking and turning with deadly speed, momentarily pushing the attackers back. Just as Ramesses' desperate countercharge seems doomed to fail, fate intervenes. The main Hittite force, believing the battle won, makes a fatal error. They stop to plunder the rich Egyptian camp. Greed distracts them from their objective. At this exact moment, an unexpected Egyptian reinforcement force, known as the Nearin, arrives on the scene. They had been traveling on a separate route and arrived from the south, completely blindsiding the preoccupied Hittites. Ramesses seizes this God-sent opportunity. He rallies the remnants of his Amun division and, joining with the fresh Nearin troops, launches a full-scale counterattack. The hunters have become the hunted. The Hittites, caught between Ramesses' force and the Nearin, are driven back towards the river, suffering immense losses as they try to escape the pincer movement. The tide of the battle, miraculously, has turned. The fighting continues into the next day, but the initial ferocity is gone. Both armies are battered and exhausted. Muwatalli has lost a huge portion of his elite chariot corps, and Ramesses' army has been mauled. Realizing he cannot take the fortified city of Kadesh, and with his army in no shape for another major engagement, Ramesses makes a strategic choice to withdraw and return to Egypt. He has survived, but he has not won the city. So, who actually won? Well, that depends on who you ask. Upon his return to Egypt, Ramesses launched one of the most successful propaganda campaigns in history. He covered the walls of Egypt's greatest temples, from Karnak to Abu Simbel, with magnificent reliefs and inscriptions like the poem of Pentor. These tell the heroic tale of a pharaoh who, abandoned by his men, single-handedly defeated the entire Hittite horde through his divine strength and courage. It was, according to Ramesses, an unparalleled Egyptian victory. However, Hittite records, discovered on clay tablets in their capital of Hattusa, tell a very different story. They describe the Egyptians being routed and forced to retreat, claiming a clear victory for Muwatalli. And they had a point. After the battle, Kadesh and the surrounding territories remained firmly under Hittite control. Ramesses had failed in his primary strategic objective. So, what was the true outcome? Most historians today agree that the Battle of Kadesh was a tactical stalemate. Neither side achieved a decisive victory, and neither could destroy the other. The battle ultimately exposed the limits of their power and created a new balance in the region. This stalemate led to something far more significant than any military victory. 15 years later, in 1258 BCE, Ramesses and the new Hittite king, Hattusili III, signed the Treaty of Kadesh. This remarkable document, the earliest surviving peace treaty in world history, established a formal non-aggression pact and a mutual defense alliance between the two former enemies. A replica of this treaty now hangs in the United Nations headquarters in New York, a timeless symbol of diplomacy and the pursuit of peace. The Battle of Kadesh, a day of blood and chaos, ultimately paved the way for an era of unprecedented international cooperation, proving that sometimes the true victory is not won on the battlefield, but at the negotiating table. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this journey into the ancient world, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the notification bell so you never miss another story from history. We'll see you in the next one. Thank you for journeying with us through the echoes of history's most pivotal battlefields. We hope this exploration into the past has been as insightful for you as it was for us to create. If you enjoyed this deep dive, please show your support by hitting that like button. It truly helps us out. Share this video with any fellow history buffs you know. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel, Battles Through History, for more epic tales. Don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when we march into our next chapter. We love hearing from you, so drop your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, keep the spirit of exploration alive.